Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for another episode of the Story Structure series by Script Writing Tips. In this episode, we will talk about the climax. It's the most expected turning point from the audience, so we're going to explain exactly what it is and how to find it. Stick around because by the end of this episode, you will know how to write the climax scene in your own stories. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content by Script Writing Tips. So let's get started. The most important turning point in Act 3 is the climax. But what is climax? Let's see first what is the actual meaning of the word. According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, climax is the highest point of something, the culmination. If we take into account that the origin of the word climax comes from a Greek word which means ladder or staircase, it makes absolutely sense. So think of your screenplay as a ladder or staircase that your protagonists are trying to climb step by step. Sometimes they might slip back a step or two, but they're always coming back and continue climbing until they reach the top, the highest point of the ladder. And that's the climax in your story. The climax takes place in Act 3, and it's the last major thing that happens in your story. The climax is also called the final culmination, the end game, the great confrontation, the showdown, or the big fight, which is the term I also prefer. So what are the main characteristics of climax? In climax, our interest is at its highest point. This is the scene that everyone expects from the beginning of the story. It is the moment where tension is at its peak and the conflict has escalated. Here, it's where most of the times the protagonist meets the antagonist and have a clear, blunt confrontation. It's the final fight the protagonist has to give against the antagonist in person. According to the screenwriter David Trottier, the climax is the final face-off between your central character and the opposition. Alternatively, here is the moment where our protagonist faces the biggest obstacle in the story, which it will determine her or his fate. Most of the times, this obstacle is coming from the antagonist. All other characters aren't so important in this scene. Only the protagonist and the antagonist are actually acting here. After this sequence of scenes ends, there is no actual story left to be told. The protagonist either wins or loses. It's the last card that the protagonist has to play, and she or he must play it right. The climax sequence is followed by the results, the resolution, and the epilogue of the story. Let's see now how you can find in a movie where climax is. Here's my method. Step 1. Go to Act 3. Climax is always in Act 3. If you are not in Act 3, it's not or it shouldn't be climax. For those of you that don't remember how to find the beginning of Act 3, I'll just put the link here and down below. Step 2. Find the scene where the protagonist is fighting against the antagonist. There's the climax. In the case of a romantic comedy, that would be the final confrontation between the couple. The climax sequence is where you get to shine as a screenwriter. Here you need to put all your efforts and to write the best scene of your entire screenplay. Up to this point, there has been no scene as intense as this one, the climax scene. Let's see some examples of the big fight. Between a cop and a murderer, the final confrontation usually includes a lot of shooting and car speeding, but in the end of the sequence, one of them loses and the other one wins. If your protagonist is, let's say, a chess player or a golf player, or a basketball player, then the big fight is usually the final game in which he is usually playing against his greatest opponent. When the greatest opponent is a creature or a nature, then the climax is putting your protagonist against this monster. Just like we can see in Jaws with a shark, or in Jurassic Park with dinosaurs. In a love story, it is usually the final love confession that one makes to the other in order to win her or him back, forever and ever. Because in a romantic comedy, the two lovers are both the protagonist and the antagonist. Here is where one of them opens his or her heart and speaks the truth and expresses all of the emotions he used to fear to express up until now, and after that, he waits for the other person to process all of this and to give an answer. So even when lovers are concerned, we can feel the confrontation between them. We can feel that the stakes are at their highest. We can feel the climax. In a sense, this is also a kind of a big fight between them. That's all about climax for now. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe for future story structure videos. Don't forget to visit my website in scriptwritingtips.com as well as my Facebook page. Feel free to share your comments, tips or requests in the comment section below. Find out more about the various plot points by choosing to watch any of the videos on the screen. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. This is Apollonia and Script Writing Tips.